everyone, welcome to Free Movement Sewing, and today we're going to do a really interesting react to video to Maddie Ziegler's dance costumes. The reason why I wanted to do this was because I wanted to show you what works and what doesn't work. And for someone like Maddie Ziegler, I'm just wondering, for the costumes that she has actually worn, is it something that you can actually sew? Is it something that I can actually sew? I'm pretty sure that I can actually sew it, but let's watch and let's see, whether the costume actually works. So just bear in mind, if you have any questions, especially with the costumes and how you think you want to sew it, drop it down in the comments below because I'm more than happy to support you in your sewing journey here at Free Movement Sewing. But of course, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell because new videos coming out every single week. I don't want you to miss any of it. So let's get started. So the first video we're gonna watch is of course Sia's Chandelier. One of the most famous music videos out there, and the costume wise, amazing. Let's go ahead and get started watching. This is the official music video. Oh yes, so iconic. Wow, so iconic. You know what I really love for this entire look? Just how simple you use just a nude leotard to actually be a costume in itself, when it's usually meant to be like an undergarment kind of thing. But look at that hair and that wig. It creates so much more movements, which is so amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. Wow. And the interesting thing about this whole costume is that, we usually think of a nude leotard as an innerwear. But I like how they actually reversed it out to say that, a nude leotard can just be a costume by itself, pretty amazing. Simple to sew, very easy to make. If you've made a leotard before, you understand what I mean, but if you're not sure, we do have other videos, or if not, you can go check out our online course if you want a more detailed way of learning how to sew this new leotard. But oh gosh, it's simple to sew, very effective leotard, especially if you're trying to make a statement. So the thing is, when you actually want to make a costume, you have to think about what kind of a statement you're trying to make, and whether or not the dancer can actually carry off the look of a nude leotard. Because you see, even though the costume is so plain, so simple, her movements are extravagant, her facial expression is amazing as well. So that makes up for the lack in a way of a costume, or how simple the costume is, which makes a lot of a difference. So if let's say you're creating a costume for a dancer who is a little bit less expressions, or may not be able to have such drastic and big movements to execute, might not work for a nude leotard. But from Maddie Ziegler, you can see how she's actually rocking the costume, making it work for her and not the costume work to her. Makes a difference, yeah? Wig wise, amazing idea because there's a lot of movements, and you can see how the wig actually creates and makes the movements even bigger. So I love that. Awesome. Alright, let's head on to the next video to check out her costume. So this one over here is Maddie Ziegler and Travis. Oh wow, loving the unitards. Okay, so you can see for this particular costume, you can see there's a lot of coverage, especially in the front, but at the back you have a very deep U-back, and you have a nude elastic going across to hold the U-back in place, which is a very smart idea, especially if you're doing a really low U-back. But in terms of the costume, although it looks really simple, you can see how the white itself has a lot of shapes and lines going on. So they didn't use just a plain spandex fabric. They purposely chose a fabric that has a little bit more designs and patterns, a little bit see-through, and the inner layer they definitely use a pure white spandex, especially for the briefs and the crop top area. So that's for the inner lining, that's what they did. But more importantly, I want you to be able to see that on the back of the costume there are actually straps running across the backs. Two straps running across the back, one at the upper back, one in the middle of the back where the waist looks like where the waist is. But awesome, really amazing. And Travis's costume is really simple. You have a mix of mesh and seemingly spandex. Can't be quite sure from here, but very simple costume, black, white. But the white itself has a little bit more going on as compared to the black. Or rather, Travis's costume is a little bit more smart. So there's a little bit of a contrast going on there. Simple costume to make, a unitard. If you can sew a leotard, you can sew a unitard. Just need to know how to actually alter the pattern so that you can actually make that. Definitely gonna do an online course that will teach you how to actually make your own unitard. Have made so many unitards already in my life. So yes, that's definitely something that I'm very sure that you can learn how to make on your own. Just need to look for fabrics. Make sure that you find a fabric that actually works for you. I think it's also good to find a little bit of a see-through fabric, and for the inner lining you actually create a different piece. Makes a lot of a difference. Well done. Love the costumes. Pure, simple, but love the hairstyle as well. Alright, so the next video is going to be Maddie's Cry solo on Season 1's flashback of Dance Moms. Alright. Okay. Very, very interesting costume. You can see at this point of time, Maddie is still a really young dancer. Very technically trained, but very young. Great. So I love the look of the puff sleeves, you know. Why? Because a lot of young dancers have very, very small frames, and that means the shoulders are really small, the arms are really small. So what the puff sleeves do is that it actually brings out the dancer a lot more, especially in terms of the movements, because it creates that dimension that's kind of missing as a young dancer, because usually your frames are really small. Puff sleeves are an amazing idea. We do lots of puff sleeves for a lot of costumes and dancers, so that is a big feature of this particular costume. But what I really like is also the sweetheart going on here. You know, it's not too low. In fact, the ruffles actually creates a little bit more dimension as well, which makes sense because the puff sleeves are really big. So it does help to actually pull the whole look together. Lots of rhinestones going on. I love it. Layers in the skirt is great. Many layers in the chiffon skirt. You can see over there. I'm thinking two or at least 3 layers of chiffon skirt. The back itself has a lot of coverage, using a nude mesh to create that look, bring the whole look together, but at the same time making sure that the costume is really secure. Love it. I think all in all, the color also really suits her, so which is why it's really important to have your color tone match. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, go check out our other video. We have a video on how you can actually match fabric colors to your skin tone, which actually makes a lot of a difference. So yeah, all in all, you can see that the costumes today that we actually see are actually pretty simple. One's nude, one's white, one is like a lilac purple. I really love that. And I think the different aspects of the costumes, they actually bring it together. So again, same thing, when you're actually trying to sew and create a costume, always remember, don't just pick fabrics that you like. Doesn't work that way, okay, if you're making your own dance costume and stuff like that. So always think about the concept of the dance costume first, and then think about how you actually want it to come out and about. Like for instance, you talk about the nude leotard, right, for the first one. Nude leotard is so simple, you know, so simple to make, so simple to buy off the shelf as well. But the thing is, the whole idea of the song and the dance brings everything together. Works. The wig makes a lot of a difference as well. Works. I think of all the costumes, what I love the most, I think, would be the last one. That would be the Cry solo. So I really love the lilac purple on Maddie. I think it looks really good. The one thing about this costume is, I would say, because there are many different layers going on, many different types of fabrics. So you've got the sleeves, it's a little bit of a floral design, so that's definitely one fabric. You've got the bodice, that's another fabric. You've got the ruffles, that's the 3rd fabric. You've got the chiffon skirt, that's the 4th fabric. You have the back mesh, so that's the 5th fabric. So lots of fabrics going on, lots of embellishments going on. You know, there's also the rhinestoning and stuff like that going on. So it looks simple, but it's really effective in the parts that you want to actually bring out. You know, like I said, you know, as a young dancer, a lot of young dancers have very small frames. Right? Frames meaning like the shoulders here, especially in the arms, are usually very slim, very skinny. So you want to use the costume to actually bring the whole look out. So a puff sleeve always makes that difference. But you can see this is a very oversized puff sleeve. Love it. I love this costume. I think it's amazing. Well done to the designer who designed this costume. Love it. But more importantly, I also want to assure you that if you actually want to sew this costume, you can definitely do that. Go check out our online sewing courses down below, and if you have any questions, definitely drop it down in the comments below as well. But also, please like and subscribe to us and turn on the notification bell so that you can always know of a new video coming up every single week for you. Now, I just want you to know that here at Free Movement Sewing, definitely here to support you in your sewing journey, whether you are sewing for yourself, whether you want to start a business in sewing and sewing dancewear, more than happy to support you in your journey. I've been there, I've done that, I look at costumes, I know what's going in and what's going out of the costumes, the different details, so definitely the person to guide you. But more importantly, I want to make sure that you are empowered to be able to do it on your own. Best part is, you just really need one sewing machine to be able to do it. Alright, so if you're interested in checking out other videos, go check out other videos in our channel. But if not, I'll see you on our next video. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again.